Hello everybody and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to all of you guys. Like, I really don't know what to do with myself. I just don't know what to do with myself. I've had like 2 days where it's just been me in the house and I'm like, I miss my kids. So I thought, let me pick up a camera and just for 10 minutes have like a mini Sunday video, because like it's a lot. I think it's a lot of rest for me. I'll show you how bored I get. I even decided to bake a cake. Ooh, sorry for the situation. And I ate it, which is embarrassing, but look at how burnt this cake is. I was like, okay, fine, I don't know what to do. Let me bake a cake. Look, it smells good. We're not supposed to smell food. And it really tastes good, but look how burnt this cake is. It is just hectic. But anyway, I thought I'd pick up the camera and just say happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a great Sunday. And I wanted to share this lovely find with you. So if you want to read, reading the Bible and getting through it can be a mountain if you decide to read from like Genesis to like Exodus. I think I once tried and I got some and I was like, oh, until I found this. I bought it from the book sale that everything was 50 Rand then, so I'm not sure the real price for this. It's called Pray for Life Bible. If you really want to get through a Bible within 12 months, which would be a year, this would be a perfect Bible to buy. Just so you see it, it's called Pray for Life. So it has like, I'll just show you. So there you go. You can see that it's got January 1, and then they would have like a thingy, like a topic on what they would talk about. And so they'll have Genesis, and so it's not like is it chronological order? Is that what you call it? Like if you go through the Bible, so it doesn't go like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, but you have different. So like on January the 1st, you'd read Genesis 1 verse 1, and then you also have Matthew and Psalms and Proverbs, and then and then on January the 2nd, there's a topic for that day, and then you'll have Genesis and all that. And so by the time you get to like December 31st, you would have like finished the entire Bible. So it's a good way to get through the entire Bible. So if you buy it now, you can just start April. We've just started in April, and then you can go through it. I think this is like a best Bible to get if you want to get through the entire Bible within a year. It's in the New Living Translation. So today I woke up and my eyes literally just went to my bass guitar, and it looked so dirty and so broken. So my 2 toddlers have been playing with it, and somehow I just didn't care, which is just so unlike me. I wouldn't let anyone touch my bass guitar. 10 to 15 years ago, you wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't borrow it to anyone. It's one thing that I always protected because I loved it so much. Music has always been like a big thing for me, but I think for the past few years, I haven't stopped listening to music for enjoyment. And I mean, that's all I ever did. I was always with headphones on and just listening to music, but it got to a point where I wasn't listening. But today I wake up and I look at that bass, and it's like I can see the strings are like so loose, it looks super broken. And my one thing was like, I really feel like playing this thing again, because I had I was so drawn to it, but I was like, but my kids broke it, and at the present moment I don't even have a budget to buy a new one or to fix this one. So like what? But I picked it up and I started like messing around with the tuning things, and I realized that all they did was just loosen it up, and I could fix it again. So I fixed it, I cleaned it up, and I cleaned it up good, and I was like, oh, okay, so this bass still works. So somehow I just knew that, okay, from now on I'm gonna dedicate a few minutes to playing this thing because it actually makes me happy. And then I realized that, I just remembered that in this past week I bumped into something. I wrote it down so that I don't forget it. I bumped into, so this musician, he's like a gospel musician, Major. I think that's his name. He was talking about, it was literally a 1 minute snippet. So I don't know where it went, but just that line that he said spoke to me, you know. This is what he said. So he said that he was trying to pursue a gospel career for the longest time, and he finally realized that he was trying to chase the embrace of the attainable. Trying to chase the embrace of the attainable. And I sat down and this really hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so me. I have been chasing the embrace of the unattainable in my life, especially when it comes to the things that I love, because somehow I forgot the reason why I first picked up a bass guitar, or why I picked up a pen to write a song, or you know why I was singing. It's because it brought so much joy to me. It was never ever about the fame. It was never about being embraced by people. It was never about being embraced and being loved for it. It was the fact that every time I did it, every time I picked up a bass guitar to play, every time I wrote a song, every time I picked up a mic, wherever I was, it didn't matter who said what. As long as I did it, it brought joy into my life. And somehow, going through a lot in my life, I stopped writing songs, I stopped singing, and I stopped playing music. And mostly I realized that because I was in a hurt space. You know, when you're very hurt, whether it's grief or it's delayed dreams, things that are not happening in your life, you become so vulnerable. You become so vulnerable that every little thing will hurt you. So even things that wouldn't necessarily hurt you, they start hurting you. Like someone says, oh, like I'm just gonna give us like a simple thing, you know, oh my gosh, what are those things on your face? Why are they all over your face? How did you end up with little dots on your face? And then you're like, oh gosh, let me go scratch my freckles off. But it's something that never gave you a problem before. It's because you're in a vulnerable space. I believe that when you're super vulnerable, you get offended. I think that's the word I was looking for. You get offended by the most simplest things that shouldn't even get to you. And when I was in a vulnerable space, I tried to keep making music, but now I wanted people to tell me that, oh, you are good. And then nobody was saying it because I've never been the one to fit in a box. So I've never made music that that would be like, oh my gosh, let's just say I'm no Beyonce, you know, and I had always known that I fit into my own little box and I just need to find my people. But then when I was in a very vulnerable space, all of that went out of the window, and somehow I now wanted to fit into a certain box, and maybe I now started to try and sound like everybody else. And then I started seeking attention, not attention, but well, I'd say attention too, but I started seeking that validation from people, and no one was validating me, no one was listening. And because I was such in a vulnerable place, it broke me so much to a point where one day it was like, ugh, this music thing is not even worth it. And I gave it up. Threw my bass over there, threw my pen. I just stopped writing, stopped making music, and living a life without music. I even stopped listening to music at one point. And living a life without music, for me, it was like, you know. And all of this, and like the things that made me happy were like, I didn't even care for them anymore. And all of this came from me trying to chase the embrace of the unattainable, you know. I wanted to be loved for something that actually I love. I wanted people to like give me that, or open up their doors for me. But at the end of the day, that's not why I started this music thing, or you know, it was all because it made me happy. I had to And it made me just sort of realize that, you know what, actually music makes me happy. It's not about an audience. It's not about, all I want is just to, you know, someone to play the piano and I sing for an hour, and that for me just centers me, you know. And you know, it just made me think as well that what other things in my life, it made me want to search in my life, that what other things that are there that I'm busy, like literally searching out for, that are just me searching for an embrace of the unattainable. And I'm gonna ask you as well, is there anything in your life that right now you're sitting and you're busy, like you're literally killing yourself, and all you're doing it for the embrace of the masses, or you're doing it for, or you just like, are you able to be truthful with yourself, to sit down and say, okay, let me look inside of me, let me look at all of these things that I'm in a journey of searching for and trying to attain in my life? Are you able to be very truthful with yourself, like very honest with yourself, that hey, I think this route and that route, I'm definitely searching for an embrace of the unattainable? And if you are, then how do you get over it? I think for me, this is the verse of the day. This is how this is how I got over it. Because I'll tell you one thing, when you're like literally searching for something and you're searching for it hard, it can become a burden to you. It can become a burden to your life, to a point where you feel like you are not, like you are worthless, because there you are trying to be accepted for something, or trying to break into something, and you can't break into it, to a point where you start questioning your abilities, questioning your talents. Well, you do have those talents. And then I think for me, it was like just to pray and ask God for guidance, that how do I use this love that I have and this journey that I'd like to take, how do I keep doing it, but in a way that is pleasing to you, God, and in a way that will be my path? Because honestly, if there's something that is in my heart and it's burning me all the time, clearly it was put in there for a reason. And maybe the way I've been going about trying to get it is not the right way. I'm out there trying to seek, you know, the embrace of the unattainable. And so it's to like ask the Holy Spirit to guide me to channeling my thoughts, my ideas, my talents in the right path. But then just to take the burden off me, this is the verse, because I'm saying it from experience. Some things can be such a burden to you, and this is how I got to it. Okay, so the verse of today is from Matthew 11, verse 28 to 30. Okay, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I'll repeat. This is from Matthew 11, 28 to 30. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So if you are able to look deep inside you and you can see that there's just a certain thing that you're busy out there and you don't know, it's a burden to you, and you can tell that, you know, it could be anything. It could be a relationship. It could be some, I don't know, like an opportunity in like your talents, job, or whatever it is, if you feel like this thing has now become a burden to you and it feels like you are busy searching for an embrace of the unattainable and you just don't know how to get to it, God says here that his yoke is easy. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. So cast it upon him, come to him. You know, if you're labor and heavy laden, because I know that I was heavy laden, and in order for it to be easier for me, I needed to cast it upon him and give it to him, and let him be the light upon my feet and the light on my path of what to do with this thing that is bubbling inside of me, you know. So yeah, that's the word for today, and that's the word for the week. I hope that you have a great week ahead. I cannot wait to get back to doing these Sunday videos in full, where we're cooking and having super long videos. I know that's coming from the 16th. Wait, is the 16th on a Monday? Yes, from the 16th it will come back. I just had this word today and all of this happened, and I thought, hey, let me just pick up a camera and just shoot and just share this, because I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who also feel burdened by certain things, and they keep searching for embrace that is unattainable, and it's just not happening, and they need some sort of direction with whatever is heavy on their hearts, whether it's a talent, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship that's just, you know, you're just out there and you're like trying your best and it's just not working out. Go to God, go and read Matthew 11 verses 28 to 30, where he says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And trust me, there's no rest that's better than the one that comes from God. Happy Sunday. I love you all. Have a great week, and take this rest that God is giving you, embrace it and just live in it, and just